Hi, my name is Robin May. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about turning your habits into rituals. And this is exactly why it girls do not self-sabotage. Lately I've been thinking about why it's so easy to know what we want, but yet we're still doing the opposite. It's like saying, in 2026, I'm going to post more content. And then you're recording the content, but you're not posting it. So, what is getting in that gap of you creating the content, but then not executing the posting? Why are our goals feeling so clear, but our habits are refusing to follow? Firstly, I just want to say this is not something that I figured out perfectly. I still have a lot of content sitting in the drafts that's not getting posted. And it's something that I've been struggling with deeply over the past few years, which is why I'm holding myself accountable by talking about it. The truth is that motivation comes and goes. And I think the most basic advice that you're going to get is just do it. And I feel like that's easy to say, but my brain can convince me out of just doing it in seconds. So here's the truth on how I changed how I see habits. First things first, your brain does not care about good or bad habits. It doesn't. It really only understands repeated behavior. So if you repeat good habits, beautiful. Your brain's going to remember that. And if you repeat bad habits, your brain's going to remember that too. Your brain holds on to repeated behaviors because it starts to feel safe and it's predictable. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. It's not designed to chase your dreams. It's not designed to change your identity and your persona and your beliefs. And this is where the concept of self sabotage comes in. Firstly, self sabotage is not about laziness. It's not really about lack of discipline. And it's definitely not about how bad you want it. Self sabotage is usually an identity issue. There's a gap between the person you are right now and the person your next level requires. So, that dream version of you. And what happens is your nervous system or your brain, however you want to conceptualize it, experiences that gap as a threat. So, what you need to understand is that familiarity is what is going to start to close that gap. How familiar are you with the lifestyle you want to live? How familiar are you with the girl who looks in the mirror and feels confident? So, this brings me to point number 2, and you're going to change the way you speak to yourself. Understand that language is identity confirmation. So if you're sitting there and you're saying, I can't afford this, now is not the right time, or you're saying, I'll start next week, what you're doing is confirming in your brain an identity that it already recognizes. And once your brain believes this is true, it organizes your behavior around proving it right. So, for example, I want to go on a girls' trip and you sit there and you think you're being a realist and you're saying, I can't afford this right now. My advice to you is not break the bank, max out your credit card to book the trip. You need to change how you're thinking about it. Maybe instead of saying, I can't afford this right now, say something simple like, I'm so excited to go on a girls' trip. You can also put a deadline on it because I kind of love that way of manifesting. So you could say, I'm so excited to go on a girls' trip this summer. Even if right now the money in your bank account does not align with that happening, you need to tell yourself that it is going to happen so that your behaviors start lining up with somebody who's going on a girls' trip in the summer. Point number 3. This is where your reframe comes in. You don't build good habits by forcing discipline. What you need to do is build rituals that your brain wants to repeat. Think about it this way. A habit is something that you do. A ritual is something that reinforces who you are. Okay, but in all seriousness, when something becomes a ritual, it stops feeling like effort because it's no longer about the outcome. Instead, it is about identity confirmation. So instead of putting on your to-do list, I need to go to the gym, I want you to confirm that you are somebody who moves their body every day. That has been my biggest reframe. Before, the gym felt so tedious. It felt like something I had to do. I'd put it off over and over again. I would not prioritize it because I was genuinely dreading it. Now, it is just something that I do effortlessly because I am someone who moves their body every day. And this is why reframing your language and how you speak to yourself matters. And it matters more than willpower. So, again, instead of saying, I can't afford this, I want you to say, I can't wait to buy this for myself. You are confirming A, that you're excited, B, that it will happen. Okay, so why does this actually work? When your brain believes that something is inevitable, it stops resisting it. And once the brain accepts that something is coming, it starts organizing your behavior around making it real. So that's when something simple, like saving $20 every week, feels natural. And I want to make something so clear. This isn't just delusion, this is identity alignment. You're not shaming yourself into discipline. Telling your brain a new story, and you're telling it when it wants to prove right. Change does not always have to start with action. It really starts with who you believe you are. Change happens when your future self becomes the louder voice, not through force, but through familiarity. And that is the real work for 2026. Not becoming perfect, not doing everything at once, but choosing over and over to identify with the version of you who already knows where she's going. So, wrapping this all up, it girls do not self sabotage in 2026. They rewire, they reframe, and they evolve. Okay, we're not scared of change in 2026. We're not scared or fearing being perceived. And that is today's reframe. So if this resonated with you and you want to read more about it, check out my Substack. It's called The Source, and I'll see you in the next one.